from Cichy Stadium in Fargo, North Dakota. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jed Thomas alongside my partner Kate Busick as we get set for North Dakota High School girls softball action as the Shanley Deacons prepare to take on the Sheyenne Mustangs. Well, folks, it's a wonderful afternoon for softball here as the Deacons and the Mustangs, two top contenders from the East, get ready to battle it out. We got some great weather in what should be a great game, and it's all for a great cause as it is the third annual Randy Nelson Memorial Strikeout Cancer Benefit. And for more on that, I'm going to turn things over to the PA announcer who's got starting lineups and a couple announcements to bring you. But don't go anywhere, folks. Again, it should be a great game, so stick around.
Good afternoon and welcome to Cichy Stadium on the campus of Shanley High School for today's matchup featuring the visiting Sheyenne Mustangs and your Shanley Deacons. Shanley High School campus, which includes Cichy Stadium, is tobacco free, and we ask that you refrain from smoking on school grounds. Also, because of the field turf, sunflower seeds are prohibited in the stadium, which includes the bleachers and the field. Thank you for your cooperation in these matters. Concession stand and restrooms are located at the north end of the bleachers. And now, Ellie Kraft, freshman from Shanley High School, will read the sportsmanship creed.
The North Dakota High School Activities Association and the Eastern Dakota Conference encourage and promote good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We ask that you cheer for your team and be respectful of the opponent. As high school student athletes, we commit to fair play, responsibility, and respect. We invite you to support our effort.
Today's officials have been registered by the North Dakota High School Activities Association, and they are Lon Carlson and Lyle Rader. They've been selected for their demonstrated ability. Please support our game officials in administrating the rules of the game. And now your starting lineup, starting with the visitors from Sheyenne. Your designated player, number 5, Sadie Matthews. In right field, number 11, Mary Beth Morse. In center field, number 10, Shay Weber. In left field, number 4, Caitlin Galdi. At first base, number 14, Allie Schmidt. Playing second base, number 18, Kylie Washinsky. At third base, number 3, Abby Bueling. At shortstop, number 6, Morgan Geisler. Catching, number 2, Emma Johnson. And pitching for the Mustangs, number 15, Reagan Jastrom. Head coach for the Mustangs is Mark Woodbury. And now for your home team, the Shanley Deacons. Starting in right field, number 9, Kelly McSparron. Playing center field, number 2, Elena Linster. In left field, number 4, Maria Sorensen. At first base, number 21, Gabby Nelson. At second base, number 5, Krista Schanzenbach. At third base, number 24, Taylor Airholtz. Playing shortstop, number 10, Callie Schanzenbach. At catcher, number 7, Maddie Remke. And pitching for the Deacons, number 8, Ingrid Swanson. Head coach for the Deacons is Rebecca Cornett. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we would like to take a few moments to honor Randy Nelson and his family. Present with us today are his wife, Dorian, daughter, Gabby, and son, Brandon. Randy was the activities director at Shanley High School from 2007 to 2014. During his tenure, 11 different teams captured the North Dakota High School Activities Association sponsor state championships. In addition to his activities director position, Randy also served as head and assistant softball coach in 2013 and 2014. Although his passion for athletics and the Deacons was strong, his family was first and foremost always in his heart. He was a proud husband and father. Randy was also a devoted Christian and a follower of Christ. Although truly missed, Randy's passion, commitment to excellence, and living life the right way continues to be an example for not only the Deacons, but for those living their everyday lives. All proceeds from today's event are donated and matched by the Dakota Medical Foundation, the Lend a Hand program, in Randy's honor. At this time, we ask that Brandon Bubba Nelson throw the ceremonial first pitch for the Strikeout Cancer Randy Nelson Memorial Softball Game. Also, at this time, in an incredible act of generosity and good sportsmanship from the Sheyenne High School community, the Sheyenne Mustangs softball team will present Gabby Nelson with a gift. Thank you to the Nelson family and to everyone for attending and being a part of this special Deacon Day. At this time, we ask that you please rise, remove all headwear as we begin today's contest with a prayer, and please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Thanks and praise be to you, God and Father of our Lord Jesus Christ, who has bestowed on us in Christ every spiritual blessing in the heavens. And we thank you for the blessing of being able to gather together here today. Be with us, watch over us, bless us, keep the players in good health, allow them to enjoy their participation in this competition today. Let everything that happens here today be pleasing in your sight. And on this special day, we ask you to be with all those who are battling the disease of cancer, and we also pray for their families. Let them know that they are in the fold of your heart. Let them know also that they are never alone. We pray all this in the name of your Son, Jesus, by the power of your Holy Spirit. You are God forever and ever. Amen. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Don't go anywhere, folks. High school softball action is next after a brief word from our sponsors.
This broadcast is presented by American Family Insurance, Ken Craft Agency, Bell Bank, Butler Machinery Company, the Fargo Jet Center, First International Bank and Trust, Form Communications, Luther Family Buick GMC, Master Construction, More Engineering, Netrix IT, Northern Improvement Company, Off the Wall Advertising, Robert Gibb and Sons, Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, Shields All Sports in Fargo, and TCI Insurance.
Good evening, folks, and welcome back to North Dakota High School girls softball action. I'm Jed Thomas, of course, joined by my partner, Cade Busick, as we're getting ready for what should be a great game here between the Sheyenne Mustangs and the Shanley Deacons. It's a beautiful afternoon for softball, 73 and sunny. Should be a great game, and like I said, if you were with us earlier, a great cause here this afternoon. Randy Nelson Memorial Strikeout Cancer Benefit in the benefit, of course, in memoriam for former Shanley Athletic Director Randy Nelson. So, again, a great cause and a great softball game. And for a little more on the game, here's Cade Busick. Cade?
Well, a couple of players to watch today from Shanley will be Ellen Linster. She's going to be a sophomore this year, but she was all EDC last year. And then a fun one to watch for the Mustangs will be Morgan Gisler. She's all EDC last year, but she actually played at West Fargo last year and transferred because this is the Mustangs' first year of varsity softball.
All right, and now is the first pitch of the game there from Ingrid Swanson. Swanson, the ace pitcher here for the Deacons. Any given afternoon, she can be seen really throwing quite the game. Earlier in this week, for those of you who were with us when Shanley played Red River, she did have some struggles against a very strong Grand Forks offense, but typically Ingrid Swanson is a very difficult pitcher to face.
Yeah, getting up 0-2 in the count. Now she has some freedom to do whatever she wants. She can throw one away, just try and get her to chase right here, which you might see.
Swanson here on the third pitch. That one, though, into the ground. And that is a problem that she had earlier in this week again against Red River. Put a couple of pitches into the dirt early on that let some girls get on base, put her in some difficult situations. I definitely look for Swanson to cut down on the number of balls she's thrown early. And that right there is going to be another ball there, so something to watch.
Cheyenne right now, they're being really patient, not swinging the bat. They want her to throw her strikes.
Well, and that's a good way to start the game, Cade, although right there the patience may not have paid off as Swanson gets the early strikeout. But again, here is the road team facing a strong pitcher. You don't want to be chasing anything, don't want to shake your confidence too early. I think if I'm Cheyenne, like you said, I'm just kind of letting Swanson pitch here and see what's coming at me.
Yeah, and one thing, after a tough outing, you make her prove that she can pitch in this one. Make her prove that she has her confidence here.
All right, well, we'll see if she can prove it. As we said, Ingrid Swanson, a stud pitcher for the Deacons. A little pop fly up here, but that's going to be easy business for Schanzenbach. That's Krista Schanzenbach, the 8th grader, not to be confused with her sister, Callie Schanzenbach, the 9th grader. The younger Schanzenbach starts at second, while the other at shortstop. Two phenomenal young players here for the Deacons.
Yeah, they're going to be a lot of fun to watch in the future. Really good already. They can do some damage.
It's Geisler at the plate. She was all EDC last year, as you said, Cade. One of the top batters for the Mustangs, batting third in the order. Comes into a tough situation, though. 2 outs already. High pitch there from Swanson will be a ball. Geisler, the senior infielder for the Mustangs, a lot of experience there, really great track record, great play over the last few years. No doubt one of the team leaders here for the Mustangs.
Swanson getting behind in the count, 0-3. She's got to pitch to her and make her prove that she can hit this one.
And that's another high ball, so she'll walk Geisler. And not exactly what you want if you're Swanson, although getting those 2 outs early, especially with the strikeout, I think has got to be good for your confidence.
It's got to be good for your confidence, and it makes the walk all right to happen.
Swanson's pitch here, a little high. And watch Geisler. She's really taking the lead off here on first, really teasing the Deacons, making them think. We saw them get burned a couple of times against Red River on some stolen bases. We'll see if maybe they've learned a bit from that game.
She's getting out there, but it's not looking like she's ready to go yet.
Again, as you said, Cade, Cheyenne being patient early on in this one, and that appears to be in all facets of the game. Big swing there. That one won't pay off, though. It was a low pitch from Swanson. Jastrom at the plate right now working against Swanson with Geisler on first and 2 outs. Swanson with the heat there, and now the attempted steal will go. Geisler gets to second, and she's going to third. Risky move, but it looks like it'll pay off. And a great decision there from the senior Morgan Geisler. It was a difficult choice, but she trusts her speed there and makes it to third.
If you're the catcher there, you got to see that she's going to beat you to the bag, and you just got to hold that one. And that can only allow an error like that, and she just got a free base because of that.
Errors have been an issue for the Deacons this season. Again, those defensive aspects of the game have really hurt them in some games this season. They've allowed a lot of runs, and that's just not something you'd expect from a team with a pitcher like Ingrid Swanson. But at the same time, I do think we're looking at a pretty young squad. As I mentioned, an 8th grader and a 9th grader starting in the infield alone. So some of these growing pains, well, Deacon fans may not love them, are not too surprising considering the youth of this team, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they're not too surprising. They're to be expected, but they will go away as these players mature. Every game they're getting better and they're getting stronger. Big hit here by Jastrom.
And look
That's
at that, it's gone. Jastrom with the home run, and how about that? Facing the 2 outs. It was really great play there from Geisler around the bases, but it turns out the Mustangs really didn't need it as Jastrom sends her home with that bomb. And wow, what a great opening inning here for the Mustangs. Not only are you asserting your dominance here on offense, but also showing great resiliency after facing that 2-out hole.
Yeah, that is really killer. If you're a pitcher, you got them down 2-0, you walk someone, and then a home run. It is one of the worst feelings in baseball. But you want to watch to see how she comes back. That will tell you how she will play for most of the rest of the game.
Well, if anyone has that mental capability to come back, it would be Ingrid Swanson. A junior, though, who has a lot of experience, did quite a bit of pitching last year behind Molly Schmidt, the senior. Now she's stepped into a much more prominent role here, definitely the Deacons' go-to pitcher. And, doesn't just have the physical ability, she's really got the right attitude. So I would not expect her to get into any sort of funk here. Just really great in the mental aspects of the game. It's Schmidt at the plate for the Mustangs. Swanson's pitch popped high up into the air and back over the cage.
Out of play.
So a foul here and a 1-1 count with 2 outs. Swanson's pitch right into the strike zone, and, well, we had that count wrong, but it's a strikeout, and Ingrid Swanson's got to be happy about that. Now, giving up that home run, as you said, Cade, not how you want to start the game, obviously, but a nice recovery, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a great way to get out of that. I mean, she just bailed her team out. Didn't have to play a lot of defense there, but now watch to see how they come back in this bottom half of the inning. They got to at least get someone on base, even if you don't score. And that starts with Maria Sorensen, who's hitting first. Get on base, give your team a chance to bring you around.
Now, the Deacons have had some trouble getting off to slow starts on offense. We saw it against Red River, a game I'm referencing a lot here, but really was a good representation kind of the Deacons season. Played a close game that ended up just kind of getting out of hand towards the end. But a big problem there was not able to generate offense early, and while they eventually did put up 6 runs, all that offense came in the later stages of the game. So I'd definitely say getting their bats going early, getting some early runs would be huge for their confidence.
Yeah, and the Deacons, once you get past those first 3 hitters, they got some real power in their hitters. I mean, that's something you want to see, but you want to see that with runners on base, especially like the Sheyenne Mustangs just did here.
Absolutely. If you want to say one thing about the Deacons bats, they're definitely deep. I don't really think there's a weak point in that order. They do a very good job of spreading their talent around, and they really have the talent to spare there, as they've just got a great lineup up and down. So pitching for the Mustangs here is the girl who hit the home run. It's Reagan Jastrom. So showing off her talents on the offensive side of the game already. Let's see what she can do on defense. So as Cade said, it's Maria Sorensen up to bat here first, the leadoff hitter for the Deacons, known for her blistering speed. If she can get on base, the Mustangs are going to have to watch out for her. And right away, trying the bunt, something she loves to do. That time, though, doesn't quite work out. That'll go for a foul ball.
Well, in softball, you only got the 60-foot bases. If you can get a bunt down, you will usually beat it out, especially with Maria Sorensen's speed.
0-1 count now. Jastrom on her second pitch, again trying the bunt is Sorensen, but that one will be another foul ball. So Sorensen definitely giving the Sheyenne defense something to think about here, attempting 2 bunts in a row. Downside to that, though, is now she's in an 0-2 hole. Let's see what she can do.
The thing about the Mustangs, they're still playing pretty deep. They're really not respecting the bunt right now. It's with their corner infielders.
Might be the right strategy, as Sorensen lets that one go by for a 1-2 count now. Jastrom winds up, and Sorensen takes a big swing to end that at bat. She will strike out, and up next now, we've got Remke, the catcher for the Deacons.
Yeah, that is the tough part about bunting, though. If you don't put it in play and you get to that second strike, it becomes hard.
First pitch from Jastrom against Remke goes into the dirt. Jastrom again. This time it's into the strike zone. So Jastrom, a little bit like Swanson early going here, still kind of finding her groove. Not surprising, though. Obviously, first inning, first chance to really pitch here. Always takes a little while for a pitcher to kind of find their zone in a game, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, it usually does, but once they find it, you don't want to go up against them. You got to knock them out of their zone right away, and that's something the Deacons need to do, just at least get someone on base this inning.
Jastrom with some heat down the middle there. 3-1 count, though, here against Remke.
If you're Jastrom, just go right at her here. Try and get a strike across. If it's outside, that's okay.
And so now a full count with 1 out. No, that's a strikeout. Folks, we're having a little trouble with the count up here, although if you've watched our broadcast before, you're probably not too surprised. We'll try to keep this, we'll try to get a little better. First inning, we talk about the pitchers getting in the zone. We got to get a bit into the zone as well. So it's Ingrid Swanson at the plate for the Deacons. Now, you talk about Jastrom, a pitcher who has some offense to her. Swanson definitely fits that mold. She can really rake that ball all over the field. Got a ton of power. No surprise she's hitting third here for the Deacons. Phenomenal batter.
The other thing, you just watch the outfielders. They are extremely deep out here. They are respecting her bat and her power right now. And the shortstop especially is really deep. She's back about 10 feet out of the infield.
Definitely something to look at. Good catch, Cade, because, yes, this Mustang defense is sitting way back. And if you've watched Ingrid Swanson play before, you know why. Jastrom's pitch right into the strike zone. Swanson and Jastrom battling it out here. Again, it's pitcher versus pitcher. When Jastrom was batting, she for sure got the best of Swanson, although she will walk Swanson now. So the Deacons do get on base here in the first inning.
Now this brings up Taylor Holtzgirl with a lot of power. She can make this a one-run game or even tie it right here with her power. and she's going to try and make Jastrom pay for giving up that walk.
Absolutely. Airholtz, the Concordia commit, going there to play softball. Definitely a great power hitter for the Deacons and a team leader. The senior has been a presence on this squad for a long time. And Airholtz pops this one way up into the air. Should be an easy grab, though, by the center fielder, and that will do it for the first inning. The Deacons got the walk, got the girl on base. Airholtz hit that with a lot of power, but just came up short of the fences. And, that's something we saw Taylor Airholtz do quite a bit on Tuesday. Got really behind a lot of balls. Looked like she was going to have a homer twice, maybe 3 times, and every time it came up just short of the fence. So that's kind of been an issue for her as of late.
Yeah, it's looking like she's getting a little bit under it, and that's just causing it to pop up just enough and not get the line drive power behind it that she needs.
Absolutely. And, folks, at this time, we would like to say if you've enjoyed watching our ShanleyTV.com broadcast, please consider making a donation to help us continue to bring you quality programming. We rely on donations to bring you every broadcast, and we need your help to continue to improve the quality of our productions and to add new features for you, the viewer, to enjoy. If you're interested in donating, please contact Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Again, that's Joel Shuey at 701-893-3225. Thank you for watching, and thanks for your support of Shanley TV. So, the Mustangs go back on offense here. Ingrid Swanson out to pitch again for the Deacons. Looked to have a great start, got the strikeout and then the quick out. Looked like the Deacons might make the Mustangs go 3 and out, but instead, the Mustangs got that home run to make it a 2-0 game. Now we see Swanson and the Deacon D back out. Cade, how do you think they respond after a rough first inning?
Well, really, you just got to try and pitch right at them, try and get some ground balls or some strikeouts. Let your defense play. Yeah, as long as the ball stays in play, you got a chance. Can't do anything when a home run's hit.
Well, here's a big hit right away, but an easy grab there for Linster, the All-EDC center fielder. And, boy, did she have a game against Red River on Tuesday, running all over that center field, making all sorts of plays on defense. A lot of speed in center field. She can really take away a lot of balls that look like they're going to be for sure hits. So Deacons get that first out, and now Swanson here gets the strike up against this next batter. And at the plate for the Mustangs is Sadie Matthews. Swanson's next pitch into the ground. Again, that's something to watch. And we did see some of that, though, out of Janstrom for the Mustangs. So both pitchers having a little bit of trouble with control early on, especially going a little too low. Swanson right down the middle, really bringing the heat up against the Mustangs right now. She loves that fastball. She's just driving it straight down.
Yep, but the Mustangs are still being patient. They really aren't swinging the bat a lot yet so far. They're looking for their pitch to hit right now.
And there's a hit that's easily grabbed, though, by Schanzenbach. So the Mustangs 2 up, 2 down here in this second inning.
Batting for the Mustangs, number 11, Mary Beth Morse.
Mary Beth Morse, the batter for Cheyenne now. The lefty facing Swanson, and Swanson
a little bit high here.
Right, starting things off with a ball. Swanson puts that one into the dirt.
They're going to say she went around, though. They're going to give her a strike on that one.
That is correct. So Swanson a bit fortunate there to get the swing from Morse.
Yeah, it got bailed out, but let's see if she can take advantage of that.
And Swanson, again, a little high. You know, she's right on the edge of that strike zone right now, but a few too many are going high for her.
That's something you do see a lot with softball pitchers, that motion. And it will either go high or a lot. It is hard to get it right in that strike zone with that motion coming from underneath.
Definitely control can be an issue. 2-2 count, though, now with 2 outs in the second inning, so a lot of 2s here. Swanson's pitch, again, just a bit high, and that'll make a full count.
For Swanson, you just go with the fastball, try and take it yourself here. Or you just want to get this at bat over with and try to get on to the next batter right now.
Well, we'll see if she takes your advice. Although that one is a bit too low for Swanson, so it's a walk. And now if you're Ingrid Swanson, you're in a bit of a familiar position. 2 outs, you walk a batter, and that's exactly what led to the home run, the exact series of events in the last inning. So if you're Ingrid Swanson, you don't want to repeat. But if you're the Sheyenne Mustangs, you're hoping history's on your side. Again, high, and Morse on first base. Look at her. Watch for her to maybe take off. She was really looking like she was going to go for it.
She was a long ways off there, and it looked like Shanley wanted to try and pick her off there.
That ball hit into the ground and will roll out foul. It's Emma Johnson, the sophomore, up to bat for the Mustangs. Swanson's next pitch swung at by Johnson, and that'll make it a 1-2 count with 2 outs. Opportunity now to end the inning for Ingrid Swanson. Swanson's pitch low and mishandled by the catcher. Morse will take second, and not what you want to see if you're the Deacons. Remke just unable to get that ball under control, and so a ball and a runner advancing.
Yeah, now that takes away the force at second base. That just makes it that much harder to make a play to get out of the inning right here.
Ball popped high into the air. Should be foul. And that is the case as that falls out of play. So a 2-2 count. Again, 2 outs here. Swanson has an opportunity to end this inning. Swanson's pitch swung at.
Fouled off again, just keeping the count alive right here.
That is the case, as it's been a bit of a stalled at bat right now. Not much happening. Morse definitely looking eager to take third.
Yeah, a single here to the short outfield. She'll score on that here. Deacons have to get the out on this play.
Swanson just high, they'll say. So it's a full count now. Full count with 2 outs.
Runner will be going. She's going to try and score if the ball is in play.
Swanson's pitch is high, so it's another walk. That makes 2 walks in a row. And that's even tougher to swallow if you're Ingrid Swanson, considering both walks came after you already had 2 outs.
Both of them, you had 2 strikes as well, just 1 pitch away both times from getting out of the inning and back on the bench.
And a pinch runner in here for Johnson. It's Maya Lambert. And, you know, Ingrid Swanson, the way she's pitching right now, she's starting off really well against these Sheyenne batters, often going up 0-2 in the count. And, oh, she takes a line drive into the leg, but she gets to it, makes the throw to first, but it's mishandled. Swanson's hurt, and the Mustangs are running.
And they called time. The ball went out of play. Both runners should be given a base here. Swanson is definitely hurting. I think she got hit in the ankle. Well, but I am not sure, to be honest.
Right. Maybe a little higher. We won't speculate, though. That's definitely unfortunate for the Deacons. Hopefully she can shake it off. Obviously a valuable member of that team, both pitching and hitting. But a very tough break there for the Deacons. That ball just driven right into the leg of Swanson. Mustangs score, and Kate, if you're right, they called that play dead, and the runners should each get a base. So that
I believe what they said was that they were dead on their way to second and third, so that's what they got, because the ball, it appears, went under the stands.
Ah, okay. So that would, as you said, put runners at second and third, still with 2 outs here. And it looks like Swanson will take a couple practice pitches here to see how the leg's feeling.
Looks like she's going to be good to go, though, but we're going to see.
So definitely not what you want to see if you're the Deacons. Again, going up 2 outs here and really struggling to put this inning away. Kind of saw that in the first, obviously, again with that home run. So Shanley starting off great here. You know, they're getting up in the count. They're getting up with those quick 2 outs and then just unable to finish the job. Not what you want if you're the Deacons. Obviously, that's not going to work out the rest of this game, already down 3-0. We know they've got the ability to close it out, though. I mean, when you're starting the way they are, getting those really fast 2 outs, you know, getting those quick 2 strikes, you know, you've got the ability to get the 3rd out and the 3rd strike. They're just not able to put it all together so far early on in this game.
Yeah, the other unfortunate thing about that play is maybe if she doesn't get hit, maybe she's able to make a little bit better throw, and Gabby Nelson's able to make that play. But that's all speculation and all in the past now. That's just too bad for the Deacons. That cost them at least 1 run right there. And it looks like they're fixing the mound right now.
That does appear to be the case. Not quite sure what's going on down there, but it looks like they've got it under control. Again, some more duct tape being used down there, something you saw if you tuned in on Tuesday. So hopefully this delay will be over quick. Again, Swanson throwing some pitches here. Appears to be moving around pretty well. Obviously, you're probably still hurting after taking a drive like that. It was a very strong hit, but showing some resiliency.
That's one of the tough things about being a pitcher in softball. You are so close to the batter that if you get hit, there's nothing you can, if the ball's coming at you, there's very close to nothing you can do about it if there's just nothing you can do there.
Absolutely. Real tough break. Got to be pretty brave to be a pitcher in softball, absolutely. So the delay continues as maintenance on the mound goes on. And we'll use this time to give you a reminder, folks, don't forget that you can connect with Shanley TV on social media. Get the latest updates about Shanley sports teams, plus reminders about upcoming broadcasts. Like our Facebook page today at facebook.com/ShanleyTV. Follow us on Twitter at ShanleyTV, and now you can follow us on Instagram at ShanleyTV.
They can go to ShanleyTV.com.
So the waiting game continues here. And probably not a bad thing if you're the Deacons, you know, coming off of a tough play there. Swanson could obviously use some time to shake that leg off a bit. So I'd say this delay probably a good thing if you're Shanley.
Yeah, it definitely works in the Deacons' favor. I mean, she's going to be more ready to go with a couple extra minutes. And the Deacons, yeah, they'll be able to shake off that last play.
And at the same time, if you're Cheyenne, though, obviously you don't love the delay because you're really rolling right now. But I don't think this delay really should mean too much for you. They're playing a great overall game so far. It really doesn't seem like much could phase them right now.
No, they are playing outstanding here. They are hitting the ball really well. They're being patient in the box. They've been pitching and playing defense really well. This shouldn't shake them at all.
Something to note, if you look at the flags in the outfield, you'll see the wind is blowing pretty heavily to the southeast, and that's going to be very beneficial to any batters for both sides, obviously, because it is blowing out of the park. Maybe can take some balls away.
Yeah, that's what it appeared to do for Jastrom.
All right, so the delay is over. The mound is fixed, and hopefully Swanson is feeling a bit better after taking that hit.
She's moving around pretty good. It looks like she's going to be all right there, though.
So 2 outs still, and runners on second and third. She starts this at bat off with a ball, and another low pitch there will be 2 balls. Swanson facing Shea Weber for the Mustangs, and for any of you hockey fans out there, no, it is not the Shea Weber of the Montreal Canadiens. It's Shea Weber, the sophomore outfielder, or excuse me, the junior outfielder for the Cheyenne Mustangs. Weber pops that one up towards third, and it's grabbed out by the shortstop. So the Deacons are able to get out of the inning, and got to be glad to get out of that one. Obviously, runners still on second and third there. Finally able to close that out. So, Cade, your thoughts moving forward here, though, after a rough second inning there for the Deacons?
You just get your entire team together and you just say, all right, everybody, we're going to take a deep breath. We're going to calm down. We're going to go up and we're going to hit the ball now, and we're going to make things happen on offense. Defensively, you're playing great. Swanson's just going to keep throwing, and she's going to be fine. The Deacons, they'll be all right. They just got to calm down. They'll be okay.
All right, well, we'll see if that is the case. Obviously, the team has demonstrated the resiliency to pull that type of play off. You know, we saw them come back against Red River. They were down 9-2 entering the final inning. ended up with a box score of 9-6 after a tremendous rally in the bottom of the 7th. We've seen them come back from a lot of tough situations, just in innings and in at-bats. So we know they're capable. We'll see if they can do it, though. The bats were not looking tremendous for the Deacons in that first inning, but as we said, getting offense early on has not been easy for the Deacons this season. If they can get something going here in the second, though, I would not be surprised at all to see them go on a little bit of a run, because later in games we see their bats heat up, so we know they've got the capability. We'll just see if they can do it earlier on in this game. Jastrom's pitch is low for ball number 1.
She's really throwing some heat, though. She's got to be feeling good. That break could have done her nothing but good, getting a good chance to sit on the bench there.
Linster pops that one into the crowd. Got to watch out for that. Linster at the plate, as we said, an all-EDC selection last year as a freshman. She's only a sophomore. So, some talented youth for the Deacons, as we said. Linster already an established player as just a 10th grader. A heater of a pitch that Linster takes a big swing at. And what a pitch that is. As you said, Cade, Jastrom just really taking it to Shanley right now.
She just is feeling like right now I can just throw it right past them. There's nothing they can do about it right now.
And that's really the mindset you want as a pitcher, although right there we see the risk that it has as you kind of get some wild balls as that one goes high. No outs here in the second. It's a full count. Linster lets that one go by, and she'll get the walk. So the on base for the Deacons, gotta love that here to start things off.
A little bit of a speedster here. She can run the bases, so watch for that.
Absolutely. You really see her speed on defense, I think, because she can make some plays in center field that you won't see too many girls make. Linster, though, can definitely apply that to base running.
She's gonna go here.
And it looks like she'll get it.
Safe. She did not beat that by much. Really good slide on the outside. It took an extra half second for the Mustang player to get the tag, and she was unable to get it.
So Gabby Nelson at bat here for the Deacons. First pitch was a ball.
She's going to be going again. Oh, it's going to be a foul ball.
Linster, though, definitely giving the Mustangs something to think about.
Thing to watch here, the corner infielder, the third baseman, is way up in front of the bag. I don't know if she'll be able to get back and keep track of both Linster and the ball, if Linster wants to go.
Linster teasing, but ultimately heading back to second. Something to note with Nelson, Linster might not even need the steal here. Nelson can really hammer that ball, and with the wind blowing the way it is, I would not be surprised at all to see her put one very deep, if not over the fences.
She is swinging big like she wants to knock one out here. She's swinging, and she's being very aggressive. That one might have been a little high.
That is Nelson's style of play, though, and I tell you what, it has worked quite well for her. A sophomore, but again, a very established player, has done some great things here in a short career. Gabby Nelson has really shown off some talent for the Deacons, again, in that power department especially.
Yeah, this Deacon team in itself, it's just really a young team that'll be really fun to watch, especially in a couple of years when a couple of these young players get a little bit older.
Absolutely. Jastrom and Nelson continuing the battle as Nelson sends that foul ball flying up into the air.
This is something that usually favors the batter, just fouling it off. It's something that can really start to irritate a pitcher, and that only can work in the batter's favor.
No question. It's a 1-2 count here. Feels like it should be more, but all those foul balls not adding anything to the count here with 2 strikes. Nelson hammers that one into the ground. Play will be made at first. Linster thinking about home, but she will stay back at third. So the Deacons pick up the out, but Nelson is able to advance Linster to third.
But with only 1 out here, anything in play, and Linster should be able to score here.
Kelly Schanzenbach.
Well, it's Callie Schanzenbach up to bat for the Deacons, the shortstop. Low pitch from Jastrom for ball number 1. Schanzenbach, as we said, a freshman, but wise beyond her years. Definitely seems to have a very high softball IQ, makes a lot of smart plays, especially defensively. Starting at shortstop as only a freshman, a vital position to play on defense, and she's really excelled there.
Maybe the most important position in baseball other than the catcher.
And that foul ball popped up into the stands. Seeing a lot of fouls right now, so something you got to like if you're the Deacons, you're at least making contact with a lot of these pitches right now. And oftentimes when you're hitting this many, it won't be too long until you hit one in play.
Yeah, at some point in the game, you're going to make a play, and the ball is just going to land in the right spot. I mean, there's a lot of space, especially right now. The center fielder is way over to our left. There's a big gap in right center field where if the Deacons put it there, it would probably be a double or a triple without any questions.
3-1 count with 1 out, and Schanzenbach pops that one up into the stands. And it's plays like that that make me happy we're behind a wall of glass. Jastrom again trying to end this at bat.
She's got to be getting frustrated. This is another batter who's fouling off pitches, and she just can't seem to end the at bat again.
Absolutely. Something on the other side of the ball that Swanson kind of struggled with, ending those at bats. Got off to some good starts, but couldn't close them out. Now Schanzenbach powers one down the first base line, and the Deacons will score their first run of the game. So how about that? Shanley looking to have some life here in the second inning.
Yeah, now you got that first one. Now everybody's just feeling, all right, we can do this. We can hit on her. Now she's vulnerable.
Kelly McSparron.
It's McSparron up to bat here for the Deacons. Jastrom's pitch hit into right field by McSparron, but a great grab on defense will keep Schanzenbach at first. And how about that play from Mary Beth Morse, the freshman, making one heck of a catch.
Yeah, right on the foul line. Probably would have been foul if she didn't catch it, but that just bought Jastrom an out right there.
At a time when she could really use one. That ball swung at by Schanzenbach. This time, though, it is the younger one, Krista, the 8th grader. 0-1 count here with 2 outs. Jastrom's second pitch mishandled by the catcher, and that'll be another base for Schanzenbach.
That's really nice. Again, that takes that force away from second base. She could now score with a single to the outfield pretty easily with her speed. So now the Deacons just have it makes it that much easier to crawl back into the game.
High pitch, Schanzenbach teases, but heads back. 2-1 the count. The pitch into the strike zone, and it's a 2-2 count now. Again, still 2 outs here. Schanzenbach swings, and that'll end the inning. So a promising inning there for the Deacons. They do leave a girl on base, but they are able to score their first run of the game. And Kate, I'd say if you're Shanley, you got to call that a successful inning.
That's definitely a successful inning. I mean, it gets everybody on the bench, everybody to talk about what we're doing wrong on defense. It'll give the pitcher time to just recover her ankle if that's still hurting her. That's nothing but good for the Deacons in that inning, and that's something that they should just... All right, now what can we do better in the next inning?
For sure. And folks, at this time, we'd like to remind you that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon Athletics to a higher level.
The Deacon family, her family.
Headed into
her
the top of
husband.
the third here,
And
Shanley
both
with
the
some new
she
life
has
on
beaten
offense,
back
but on
cancer,
defense,
and
you know,
the
Cade,
last session
you're
was
still
almost
having some of those
23.
struggles.
Jessica
Not showing a
Snyder,
ton of
Camp
improvement
Riders'
from the
wife,
first
will you
inning to
please
the
stand and take
second.
a bow?
Obviously, it's still early, but Shanley definitely looking for a quick inning here on defense, wouldn't you say?
That's always the best thing, especially for
Congratulations, Jessica.
Ingram, the pitcher, or Ingram Swanson. You just want to get one inning in and out. That just is the biggest confidence booster you will ever have as a pitcher.
All right, well, we'll see what she can do. First batter she'll face, though, is Morgan Geisler. She walked her in her first at-bat, and she'll start this one off with a ball.
Batting for Cheyenne is number 6, Morgan Geisler.
Geisler, that all-EDC selection from a year ago. Swanson gets the strike there, though. And she's really hovering right around the top of the strike zone. A lot of her balls look like they're just a couple inches from being strikes and vice versa. She's really hammering those pitches in one area, although right there you see her going to the ground.
That's something that the Mustang players haven't seemed to be able to just figure out. All right, she's pitching high. We're just going to smack those, which that's something that's working for the Deacons at least.
And the hit, it bounces off of Schanzenbach, the shortstop, and Geisler is going to make it to second there for the double. So an opening double here in the top of the third inning. Cheyenne continues to roll on offense, but hold on, they're going to send... Oh, no, all right. She's not headed back to first, just dumping some equipment off.
Reagan Jastrom.
Jastrom's back up. She hit a home run in the first inning, if you'll remember. And that was something that's kind of set the tone of the game so far.
That's right. The Mustang pitcher provided that big spark on offense as she fouls that one up and over.
A lot of power behind that bat, though. If she would have been a little bit higher, that one could have been a second home run.
Swanson's pitch is low. Geisler looking like she wants to make the run to third, but she heads back to second. And Swanson in a tough position right now. You got one of the top bats for the Mustangs at the plate. She's already beaten you once with a home run. And here's another big bomb, maybe a little shorter. No, that is gone. Another home run for the Mustangs. It's the same girl, and Jastrom is absolutely tearing it up right now on offense and on defense. And how about that, Cade? Cheyenne now with 2 homers from the same girl. Again, only one person on base, but that makes it a 5-1 game. I believe it should be 4-1. Stadium scoreboard reads 5, ours reads 4. But I believe the stadium is right, as I'm told right now. Either way, still a great offensive game here for Cheyenne, no question. Jastrom providing the vast majority of that.
Now, I mean, if you're Swanson, just calm down. Try and get out of this inning. It's been a rough start so far. Just, if you can get out of this inning, that's the best thing you can do right now. Throw a couple of strikes. Just get back to the bench again.
So at the plate right now for the Mustangs, Allie Schmidt. Schmidt, the sophomore, facing Swanson here. Ingrid Swanson trying to recover after that home run surrendered to Jastrom. No outs, and that'll be a ball. 2-1 now the count. Swanson with another low pitch, and that will be a walk as we were just a little off in the count again.
Now batting number 4, Caitlin Galdi.
Galdi at the plate for the Mustangs. Still no outs here. Swanson able to get the strike, though. Schmidt looking ready to take second, although Remke's able to sell that ball down. Mustangs being patient, as you said, Cade. They're not taking too many big risks here, but you can tell they're just waiting for Shanley to slip up. The Deacons really cannot afford to take any sort of error against the Mustangs. They're just too prepared to prey on those.
Well, yeah, I mean, so far what Cheyenne has done, They took a walk, then they hit the home run. An error, then they make a play. Second inning, an error to get a runner on base, a bad throw. Oh, on a steal a second, suddenly she's on third, then they make a play with a hit. Right here, another walk, a home run.
So Shanley, with a lot of these slip-ups and, Cheyenne, as you just described right there, able to capitalize on all kinds of really any error made by the Deacons. And again, that home run hitting, well, not much you can do if you're Shanley to prevent that. That has been stellar from Jastrom. So the Deacons do pick up the out, but the Mustangs advance a runner to second. It's Allie Schmidt now sitting on second. At the plate is Sadie Matthews. The junior infielder facing the junior pitcher in Swanson. And Swanson starts this off with a ball. Swanson's second pitch is high. And right now, Ingrid Swanson struggling a little bit to find the strike zone. We've seen her go low-high quite a few times here in the third inning. Now what you want to see if you're Shanley, at this point in the game, you're kind of looking for your pitcher to be really settling in now. And Swanson just has been unable to. Big part of that, though, has got to be, you've got to be rattled by those home runs surrendered, not to mention that ball you took off the leg. A lot of factors working against Swanson here.
Yeah, there's been nothing that's allowed her to get a rhythm at all so far in the game.
Swanson again with the low ball, and that will be a walk. So Ingrid Swanson has had a lot of walks here, and unfortunately they only seem to be increasing as the game has gone on. As we've said, though, you don't want to get overly critical of Swanson because, you can't stress how talented she is. She's absolutely got the ability to pitch some tremendous games. She just is really one of those players who kind of needs to get into that rhythm early to really get going. And something that obviously, comes with time. You get a little more starts under your belt, able to get the ability to get into that rhythm even when it's thrown off early. But Swanson just having trouble settling in right now, as we've seen a few times this season. So something the Deacons really have got to work on, and Swanson as well, because it's obviously cost them on defense.
Well, her defense does have to help her out a little bit. She's had a couple of errors that have cost her base runners and then eventually runs so far. So she hasn't actually pitched as bad as it's looked.
For sure, no question. And now the Mustangs taking off after the error at home plate. And it's exactly what we say, you can't make an error without those Mustangs being all over it. And it looks like a simple play because, it is. You hope any team can make that, but it's teams like Sheyenne who can just consistently take advantage of those, not make any slip-ups, never letting their minds wander. That's what makes a really elite team, and I think that's what Sheyenne has the makings of.
Not sure if we're going to have a pitching change here or if it's another problem with the mound. It does look like they are playing with the mound again, though.
They are for sure checking out that mound, but as you said, Cade, still maybe not a pitching change, but definitely maybe a little bit of a conference here at the mound. Swanson has had a tough go with the last few batters. Perhaps the coaches want to get a word with her, settle her nerves down a bit.
Yeah, that's something that, they've got time now to do it with them going to mess with the mound, and that's just something, just talk to her. Anything to calm her down at all, it's good right now.
On the flip side of things, Sheyenne, again, got to be confident. And I think that's a big story of this game. Sheyenne, one of those teams who I really think came into here today very confident. A team that has the talent, but also that mental state to be able to win games. You don't want to be arrogant. You just want to be confident in yourself. And I think Sheyenne does a great job of just being confident in themselves without going too far. Again, that's kind of the mental aspect that really makes a really strong team. And I think that's what Sheyenne is.
Yeah, that's something you want to see a lot of, and one thing that you saw in professional sports actually this week was you kind of saw the Houston Rockets this week get a little too arrogant after a big blowout, and they did not play well last night. They actually got blown out by about 25 points.
Definitely something that applies to every sport at every level. And on that subject, Cade, you got any picks for the NBA championship?
Gonna stick with the Spurs, baby.
You're sticking with the Spurs, a bold pick. Not a bad one to take, though. Not many teams get more consistent than the San Antonio Spurs over the last few years.
Over the last 20 years, about I think. You don't bet against Greg Popovich ever.
The Patriots of basketball, you'd say.
Except they don't cheat.
Well, my apologies to any Patriots fans at home. We can see where Cade's interests lie. So again, some continued work on the mound here. Not quite sure what's going on. Again, it seems to involve a lot of tape. It looks like they're just trying to secure the mound. You can see where it would move under your feet as a pitcher with the way you pitch in softball. So likely what they're trying to do down there. And again, while they work on that, Swanson talking with her teammates in the infield, just maybe trying to get on the same page. It's been a couple of rough at-bats here pitching, but again, like you said, Cade, not really all Swanson's fault because there have been some errors on defense as well. So perhaps Shanley just trying to get everyone on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, if you remember the start of this inning, the first thing that happened, the ball went off the shortstop's leg, and it turned out to be a double on an error.
Absolutely, a lot of fluky plays, a lot of slip-ups here. So it's been a tough game for the Deacons defensively, but their issues on defense have kind of come from a lot of different areas, including some of which that were just random plays that ended up not working out well for them.
Yep.
So as we await the mound to be fixed, it looks like they might just be done with it. But while we continue to wait, why not do one of our favorite segments on this day in sports history? On this day in 1871, the first baseball league game was played. The National Association of Baseball Players had their inaugural game between Fort Wayne and Cleveland. Fort Wayne took that game 2-0. So a little bit of sports trivia for you as we get back to this softball match and move away from that baseball fact. Swanson, again, staying at the mound here. No pitching change from the Deacons. It's been a rough start, but like we said, not all her fault. And, you know, even looking at the home runs, you can blame part of that on Mother Nature, because take a look at those flags. They are really whipping out of the park right now. Any ball that gets hit high enough and hard enough can really be helped out by that wind. And the strike, a nice way to start things off coming out of the break for Swanson.
Yeah, I mean, just anything to calm her down now and just get her confidence up right now is really good for the Deacons. Obviously, if...
Well, maybe not, although Linster able to make the play. And again, good for the Deacons there, as Elena Linster is able to track that ball down in the outfield and get the out.
Batting for Mustangs, number 18, Kylie Washinsky.
So at bat for the Mustangs, number 18, Kylie Washneski, the sophomore. And Washneski hits that one into the ground. Earholtz, though, going to make the play at first. Nelson scoops it up just inches off the ground, and that'll do it for the top of this third inning. The Deacons happy to get out of that one.
That was a tough inning for the Deacons, but, I mean, you just saw Swanson come out of that break, and she was very dominant, got the 2 outs in about 4 pitches. You can't ask any more of her for anything else of her than that. That is just great play right there.
Absolutely. Still a 5-1 lead, though, for Cheyenne. Now, when these two teams met earlier in the season, it was an 11-1 win for the Mustangs, only a 5-inning game as they held that big enough lead after the 5th. So the game was called. Shanley definitely out for some revenge, wouldn't you say, Cade? Obviously not the way you wanted that game to go, looking to have a better performance here at home.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you get beat, it's tough, but now you're coming home and you're just saying we're going to defend our place. You want to defend your place always.
No question about that, and we'll see what the Deacons can do on offense. Talking about the wind, that could obviously helps both teams. Everyone's batting in the same direction here. So Shanley, we know, has a lot of great power hitters. We'll see what they can do, as I think we're about back at the top of the order. Yeah, it looks
Maria
like
Sorensen is up, so now we're going to get back to that power pretty soon. But you just want her to get on base and be able to run wild on those bases like she has done before.
Absolutely. The Deacons have a well-crafted batting order. Lineup really works out well. Got some girls at the top of it who can get on base and are very effective once they get on, and then some girls who can really hammer the ball after them. So it's the leadoff batter, Maria Sorensen. At the plate, Sorensen hits that one right into the ground, and it goes foul.
You watch the corner infielders right now, they are way up there expecting bunt again or something short from Maria.
Well, tough to blame him as Sorensen showed bunt twice in her first at bat. Both times ended up going foul, but she was close. She was able to get a bat on that ball. And Sorensen hits that one right into the first baseman.
Be a fair ball, and
she will make it to first and stay there. So an odd play, but one that works out well for the Deacons.
Yeah, now maybe it's the Deacons' turn to capitalize on a couple of Mustang mistakes. That's a play that the Mustangs should have had made there.
Number 7, Maddie Remke.
At the same time, though, a tough ball to make a play on if you're Allie Schmidt, the first baseman. Kind of tough to judge the range. You're not sure if you should dive down to it, if you should walk up to it. But like you said, unable to make the play. Sorensen advances to second, though, and now she's caught in a pickle between third and second. Take a look at this. Maria Sorensen going to try to run it out to third, and she gets tagged out. So not what you want if you're Shanley. You go from a great situation there to 2 outs now and no one on base.
A little bit of a tough play there. Not the greatest base running. Kind of got too far out. She was only about 6 to 7 feet from second base. I would have liked to see her dive back into second base right when she got held up.
And something you won't see too often now, Maria Sorensen, a phenomenal base runner just in a tough situation there. And look at the defense as the Mustangs are able to end the inning, and they take care of some of Shanley's best bats right there. Is Sorensen, Swanson, and of course the catcher Remke all go down. So Shanley, they had an opportunity there, a good part of their batting order, coming off a tough inning, trying to get some offense of their own going, just unable to get it done. So Cade, Shanley's headed back to defense now. What do you expect from him here in a tough situation?
You know, honestly, I expect to see Swanson just come out and try and fire the heat. She hasn't gotten the help, so I expect her to try and take this over on her own right now.
Very well could be the case. You know, Swanson does have that blistering fastball. We might see her just try to get 3 up and 3 down and just not even fool him with those off-speed pitches, just take it right to him. Swanson definitely the type of pitcher who has the talent to just say, you know what I'm throwing, try to hit it. We'll see if she can get that pitch up to that speed, though, and the more important thing, get it under control and not accumulate too many walks here. She had a lot in that last inning that really gave her some trouble. So we'll see what the Deacons do now at the top of the 4th.
Other thing you want to see the Deacons play more sound defense in this top half of the inning right here. Help out their pitcher.
Well, we'll see if that's the case. So Shanley has a quick conference here at the mound. Up to bat for the Mustangs, I believe, Mary Beth Morse, if I'm not mistaken. Although it looks like I am mistaken, and that's Shea Weber. So Shea Weber up to bat, and right away a strike for Ingrid Swanson.
Number 10, Shea Weber.
We've talked about it a lot, but Swanson has been able to start a lot of these at-bats off very well, get 1 or 2 quick strikes. We'll see if she can close them out, though. Now a pop fly that's going to be caught by McSparron. So Ingrid Swanson getting some help from the defense there, some nice pitches, and then a pop fly easily taken care of by McSparron.
Yeah, really good pitching. She got an easy pop-up, easy out. Now move on to the next hitter.
And that next hitter is Morgan Geisler. She's had a lot of trouble with Geisler so far in this game.
She just needs to calm down against Geisler, just throw some strikes. Geisler hasn't hit against her. She's just put her on base.
That is true. And there's a low ball, though, from Ingrid Swanson, so not what you want here, facing someone you've had trouble throwing strikes against.
Puts her down 2-0 in the count, and she needs to get back in this and throw a strike here.
Swanson's third pitch is a strike, so the off-speed pitch there able to fool Geisler.
If you're Geisler, maybe you just say, hey, you got to throw me a strike before I'll swing against you, because you haven't yet.
And Geisler hammers that one into left field. Sorensen can't make the play. Schanzenbach will chase it down, and then Geisler will hold up at second base.
Another tough break for Swanson. That's a play that probably could have been made, just wasn't. And nope, just going to be getting rid of the
Battle
elbow here again.
for Mustangs, number 15.
Fooled us
Reagan
twice
Gaston.
there. Looks like she's heading back to first, but nope, just getting rid of that gear. Trying to make herself as aerodynamic as possible. They've really been doing great things on the bases. And again, like I said, not too aggressive, just smart plays. Just really, they know when to run, they know when not to run, which is almost more important.
Yeah, I mean, they're just letting the Deacons make mistakes and then take advantage afterwards.
Swanson right into the strike zone, a beauty of a pitch. And that's what you want to see a bit more of out of Swanson. It's just that consistency, being able to put together a couple of those in a row that you'd like to see a bit more of. Swanson this time goes high, but Remke does a great job of tracking that down. It's worth noting, Maddie Remke, only a freshman playing catcher, and that's a pretty high-pressure defensive position to play as just a freshman.
That is probably the most important defensive position on the field. And she's doing a very good job of it this year, especially today.
So a 2-2 count now. It's Jastrom up to bat, the home run hitter in today's game, and of course the pitcher for the Mustangs. Jastrom lets that one go by. It was close, but they'll call it a ball. So now we got a full count. And how big would this be for Swanson's confidence if she could strike out or at least get the out on Jastrom?
That would just be a big sigh of relief. I mean, you don't even have to worry about her now. You're going into a part of the lineup you've had success against. You feel so much better not having to worry about her coming up.
Jastrom able to extend the at-bat there with the foul ball. And I'd say if you're Swanson, you want to end this thing quick. The longer it goes, the better it gets for the batter. Swanson with a high pitch, though, so she ends up walking Jastrom. Well, better than the alternative in this game, I'd say.
Yes, that's very true. But now she can at least say, you know what, I'm done with her. She's not going to hit a home run off me. Next batter, and this is someone I've had success against.
And Jastrom will actually come off the bases for the pinch runner, Balvik. So, still a runner on first and second, but I guess from a mental standpoint, happy to have Jastrom just not even on the diamond. High pitch there from Swanson will be ball number 1. At the plate is Allie Schmidt. Swanson's second pitch is a strike right down the middle. Again, 1 out here in the top of the 4th. And a big swing there from Schmidt. Cheyenne base runners looking. It was Geisler looking at third, but ultimately heading back. And look at this towering pop fly. Sorensen going to try to make the play at it, and she does, able to grab it down in left field.
She's able to keep the runners, which that means they've got to force at every base still, which is just something that makes you feel good. Just easiest base. That's what you always tell your players in this situation. Just get the out, and we're out of the inning.
Absolutely. So some more confidence here, 2 outs now, and if Shanley could come away from this inning with no runs allowed, that'd be huge for their confidence, absolutely. And look at that, McSparron able to grab that one out. So an inning where they had their struggles, but Shanley looking really good in this 4th inning so far.
Now we got to go hit the ball is what you're saying.
Absolutely. Shanley has had their struggles on the offensive side, not getting a lot going, and their time spent on offense has been extremely brief. I think that's been the biggest thing. They've not gotten a lot of time to, get some girls on base, get some hitting going, give Swanson a bit of a break, both mentally and physically. So we'll see what the Deacons can do. They're still in that good part of their order. I mean, you've got Taylor Airholtz up here, and she's got the power, and right behind her is Elena Linster. And if you remember from earlier, Linster, the only run in this game, when she got on base, she was phenomenal, showing off some great speed. So a tough situation here for Reagan Jastrom, the Cheyenne pitcher, to come into.
Yeah, but you got to know she's feeling good right now. I mean, she's only given up the 1 run. She's playing well. I mean, she's probably very confident. No, she's got to be feeling good.
No doubt, Kate. Absolutely. Only 1 run surrendered, and she's scored 4 of her own, I believe, here with those 2 home runs. So
she's got 4 RBIs tonight.
Well, we'll see what these Deacon bats can do. It's Taylor Earholtz up first as she lets that one go by for the ball. Jastrom putting that one right in the same spot Swanson has been going to. And Earholtz clobbers this one into left field just over the head of the shortstop and able to get the single. And, you know, not a flashy hit, not a huge play, but that's exactly what you want if you're Shanley. Just getting those singles, just getting girls on base.
Yeah, a runner on base, stuff can happen when the ball gets put in play now.
And now it's Elena Linster up to bat. Not only does she have the speed, but she has got some power behind that bat, too. If she gets under one with the wind blowing the way it is, you do have to watch out. Although that time showing bunt, maybe trying to utilize that speed.
Corner infielders, especially that first baseman, is up a little bit. They're watching for this now.
Jastrom's pitch, and Linster again trying bunt. Won't go.
I don't think they're necessarily trying to sacrifice because Earholtz really isn't bailing out right away. She's just kind of going off like any normal pitch.
Well, it's an 0-2 count now. Linster in a tough situation, but hammers this one back to the fences. Elena Linster gets the double and maybe more. Earholt's going to go home, and Linster will stay at second. But how about that for some momentum for Shanley?
Now if you're Shanley, you're trying to get her in. That is your next big priority. You got Gabby Nelson coming up. She's got a big bat. She could make this a one-run game right here.
Batting for the Deacons, number 21. Gabby Nelson.
And you got to be happy if you're Shanley. You got Linster on base. She's a lot of fun to watch run the bases, so fast and also so smart in her decision-making. Nelson pops that one up just out of reach of the catcher on the foul ball. And you can tell Nelson swinging at those. She's got some power. If she makes a bit better contact with that ball, you got to watch out.
Yeah, that wind is in her favor today, and you know she's got to be licking her chops at that, especially I think they got the pitcher a little bit nervous for the first time all game today.
Well, you know, we talked about that confidence of Sheyenne. It's a good confidence, the kind you want to be a winning team. But if you can rattle that as Shanley, you can really get them in a bad place, not just in the game but also mentally. It's somewhere Shanley, I think, has been put in a couple of times here. They've really had their cage rattled by Sheyenne, but if they can flip the tables, that'd be huge.
Yeah, they've always bounced back, and that's something that is very good for these young players, and that's what shows the bright future that the Shanley team has to come.
Jastrom's pitch popped high into the air by Nelson, and the play is made at third, although a little trickier than I think it looked like it was going to be. That ball maybe moved a little bit at the last second, but a nice play made defensively.
Yeah, that's something to expect with this win. The ball can swirl up there and move a little bit late.
So the Deacons do pick up their first out of the game, but again, their first out of this inning. But again, it's only one out, and you got Linster on base, not to mention Schanzenbach up to bat. And Callie Schanzenbach, while she plays great defense, also has a great bat to go along with that. Schanzenbach takes the swing, and that'll go foul. Oh, 0-2 count now. Pitch from Jastrom is just high. Schanzenbach able to stay alive. Linster continues to wait on second. You can tell she wants to get to third badly, though. And now a low pitch. Linster thought about it. Catcher mishandled it a little bit, but a nice recovery forces her back to second. And the strikeout for Jastrom there up against Schanzenbach, and that's huge if you're Reagan Jastrom right now. She's had a rougher inning than I think she's had all game, but able to get that strikeout. That's great news for the Mustangs.
Yeah, got those 2 in a row. I mean, you're just trying to get out of this inning here, get back on offense where you've been so successful.
0-1 count now up against McSparran. And now McSparran pops one up, but it's going to go foul into the stands. And that'll make it a 1-1 count now. McSparran again makes contact. Play made at first, though, and that will end the inning. So a promising inning offensively. Produces 1 run for the Deacons, but, you know, the way they were batting, you would hope they would have gotten maybe 1 or 2 more out of that. Obviously, you know, not want to get greedy here, but they were really swinging for a while there.
Yeah, right at the start, it looked like they had a shot to make this a big inning, maybe tie the game up or get a lead. But now, if you're the Deacons, all right, let's go play defense and get back in the dugout.
So now Shanley back on defense. Had a pretty successful inning defensively in the 4th, you know, in comparison to some of the earlier ones. We saw Swanson get some better pitching in, and overall the defense just seemed to play a bit sharper. So we'll see if they can have another quick inning on D here.
As a pitcher, that's your favorite thing in the world here in 1-2-3. They went down 1-2-3.
No question. And during this break, folks, we would like to take a minute to remind you once again that Shanley TV is made possible in part by the Shanley Athletic Club and their generous members. Check out their website today at ShanleyAthleticClub.com to learn how your membership contributes to Shanley TV, the Deacon Den, and many other student-athlete needs. While you're there, be sure to renew your annual membership by clicking the Join Now button or become a member if you're not one already. It's easy to become a member, and anyone can join, so sign up today. The Shanley Athletic Club, taking Deacon athletics to a higher level. And the first pitch here from Swanson in this 5th inning is a strike. Swanson was able to deal with part of the order in that last inning that really gave her some trouble. It was a part of the lineup with Jastrom and Geisler that's really hit her hard, and that's got to give her a confidence boost now in this 5th inning.
That is a big confidence boost as a pitcher, and you're feeling like, all right, I beat these two, I can beat anybody now.
And the ball there makes it a 1-2 count. She was able to go up 2-0, something we've seen her do a lot. It's about closing it out, though. A strikeout would be huge. That ball popped up and goes foul. Swanson's pitch is hammered past the shortstop, and look at that. It's going to be just a single, but a great hit there for Sadie Matthews, really getting everything she's got behind that ball. And I think the Deacons are lucky that was not a double.
If she's got some speed, she probably could run that into a double there, but she decided to play it safe and just let the game come to the Mustangs like it has all game.
Yeah, and as you said, that's really the way it's gone all game. They've made smart plays. They haven't really reached for anything, and it's paid off. You know, they haven't taken too many risks. So the bunt there, unsuccessful for Cheyenne. It's Morse, the freshman. You know, we talk a lot about the youth and young talent of Shanley, but Cheyenne, well, a little older, really does have some great youth of their own. You know, you look at players like Morse, who's just a freshman, and also a pretty big 10th grade class featuring girls like Emma Johnson and Caitlin Galdi. You just see a lot of promising talent coming up for both teams, although it's Cheyenne right now who does have a lot of those really strong upperclassmen, it seems.
Matthews took second on the mishandled pitch there.
That is correct. Some issues at home plate. Once again, though, a pretty solid effort at catcher by Remke, the freshman. All things considered, with the importance of the position and the youth of the girl the Deacons have there. And another strike, that'll do it. The strikeout has got to be huge for Ingrid Swanson.
That's just a really good feeling. I mean, you got someone down, Oh, now just focus on the next batter. Got to get this next out.
And Emma Johnson at the plate. Airholtz will make the throw to first, and then Nelson will hold up and won't throw to third. But now it's 2 outs with a runner on third. So the Deacons in a pretty good situation. Obviously, don't want to have someone all the way at third, but 2 pretty fast outs considering the way things have gone this game. Swanson's pitch is high. Sadie Matthews itching to get home and try to rebuild this lead. Obviously, still looking pretty good, 5-2, but want to get it maybe a bit higher, get back in control of this game. The Deacons have found their way back into it. And that'll be a strike there as Washneski took a swing.
Yeah, you especially want to get a run here. I mean, the Deacon bats got going last inning, so that's got to have you at least a little nervous.
Washneski popping this one up, and Schanzenbach will grab it out from that shortstop position. A pretty quick inning on defense for the Deacons. Now they're headed back to offense. They looked really good when they were at the plate last inning. If they can pick up where they left off, only down 3 here, it's a pretty short road back into the game.
Yeah, 1 or 2 runs every inning. Just chip away at this lead. The Deacons could be all right.
You're in the bottom of the 5th, so you still have 2 more innings to go here. So we'll see what they can do. Obviously, don't want to get too far ahead of yourself. You got to at least get 1 or 2 runs up on the board here. I mean, it's not absolutely necessary to get the win, but I think for your confidence going forward and obviously to just put yourself in a better situation, you'd like to see something come home here. So the Mustangs take the field again on defense. And Jastrom, has really pitched a great game so far, although in the last inning here, maybe 2, we have seen that kind of chip away a little bit. Not sure if that's really her slowing down. She still looks pretty good. I think those Deacon bats have just come to life at a later point in the game, much like they did against Grand Forks Red River on Tuesday.
Yeah, that definitely seems to be. I mean, she's still throwing with some good heat, so you can expect that she's not slowing down at all. And I'm sure she's still very confident with the way she's played. She's got 4 RBIs, and she's only given up 2 runs, so she's got nothing to be worried about here.
Absolutely. So we'll see if the Deacons, though, can give her something to worry about, as they maybe did in that last inning. Jastrom's first pitch, a big swing taken there by Schanzenbach. It'll be a strike. And now the bunt from Krista Schanzenbach. She will make it to first, as that throw is just a little too low into the dirt. Schanzenbach had it beat.
All she did was she put it in play now and let things happen. That's all you have to do. That's one of the best ways to play baseball. Now the Deacons can really hit, and now they've got a shot to do something.
And back at the top of the order as well, Sorensen, not so much of a power hitter, but good at getting on base no matter what that way is. She can get walked, she can get some good hits, or she can bunt. We'll see if she can make it to first. She's thrown out, but Schanzenbach advances to second. So Sorensen goes down, but they're able to get Schanzenbach over to second, and now it's Remke, the catcher, up to bat.
Batting number 7, Manny Remke.
Jastrom there with a tough throw, and that'll bounce over the catcher. And now Schanzenbach advances to third. You saw Jastrom kind of take her time there. It looked like Remke was ready to go, and Jastrom took an extra second, I think, just kind of sizing it up. Maybe psyched herself out a little bit. You know, you saw that one slip out of her hand right when she threw it. Don't want to get in your own head. I think that's probably the worst thing the Mustangs could do right now. You're still in control. You're really your own worst enemy right now.
Yeah, and the other thing you got to wonder about her, she's had to throw a lot more pitches than it's looked like because she's had to do some long counts. Is she just starting to fatigue a little bit here?
Absolutely. That's something to think about. Jastrom, no question, a great pitcher, great player. Fatigue, though, no one can really avoid that. And so definitely she's hoping for some help from her defense here as the game wears on.
Yeah, but that's something she's gotten from them all game, and I'm sure she can expect that for the rest of the game. They've played very well so far.
Absolutely. Swing there from Remke. That'll be a strike. 2-2 count. Only one out for the Deacons. Remke checks the swing. It was close, but that makes it a full count now. Again, it's Krista Schanzenbach at third, able to advance on the sacrifice from Sorensen, and then the error on defense. And now a foul here will extend this at bat for Remke. Three-two count. Jastrom winds up. The pitch in the strike zone for the strikeout. A great recovery there for Jastrom.
Really good placement. You can see that's exactly where the catcher wanted the ball, right lower outside portion of the strike zone, and she got the call there. Really good pitch, though.
Only the second out, though, so Ingrid Swanson is at the plate with Schanzenbach on third. Jastrom, though, able to start things off with a strike there. Jastrom's second pitch hit by Swanson and then mishandled. Can she make it to first, though? No, she cannot. So a tough break for the Deacons. Swanson just a little too slow there, so they're unable to score after it really looked like Schanzenbach might be able to. So now headed into the top of the sixth here, the Deacons continue to trail by 3, but things are really starting to trend the right direction for them, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, they're starting to get runners on base, and they're starting to make things happen. And when you do that, you give your team a chance as a whole.
So we'll see if they can get another quick inning on defense. If you're Shanley, you maybe are starting to get a little worried here. You're putting together some great innings defensively, but not necessarily capitalizing as much as you want on offense. And against this Sheyenne offense, you never know how long it's going to be until you have another bad inning on D.
Yeah, the other thing is you can't have strikeouts. I mean, if you put it in play, even if it's a routine ground ball, errors happen, that turns outs into plays and into runs. And that's something Sheyenne has done very well in this game.
Absolutely, it's those little things, not making those errors, that can really be the separation. And in a tight game here, only 3 runs between these two teams, every error is really going to count. So just about ready to start this 6th inning. The Deacons have a quick conference at the mound. Up to bat, it is Shea Weber for the Mustangs.
Leading off for the Mustangs, number 10, Shea Weber.
So the hit from Weber, that'll be fielded by the second baseman and thrown out to first. And it was Schanzenbach, the girl who just about made it home for the Deacons on offense, making the play there on defense.
Now batting number 6, Morgan Geisler.
Geisler is up to bat as West Fargo Cheyenne is getting to that point in the order that they love. Geisler and then Jastrom, really 2 of their best hitters, maybe their 2 best. Swanson did a great job of handling them in the last inning. Definitely had some struggles before that inning, though, so we'll see if she's really turned the corner or if Cheyenne is right back in her head on offense. .2-0 count so far. And Geisler hammers one along the foul line, and that'll roll out. So now 2-1 the count. Keep in mind, Swanson has walked Geisler twice now, I believe, in this game.
I believe she is 1 for 1 with 2 walks as well. Oh, and she has scored 2 runs as well, so she has just been very patient at the plate.
The senior, a smart player, although there evens the count up 2-2.
You can just get her out, then Jamstrom is not nearly the threat that she's been before, because a home run even, that's only one run compared to the two it's been.
Geisler pops that one up way high and out of play. Swanson trying to strike Geisler out here. Only 2 walks in the 2-2 count, although that will make it 3 for the full count. If you're Swanson, you really don't want to walk Geisler again here. Walking anyone 3 times in one game is just not something you love to do as a pitcher.
Not at all. I mean, just to keep your head good for when Jamstrom comes up next, you got to get this out.
And that is a low ball there that will send Geisler to first. So, tough break for Swanson. Looked like she might have her there with a count in her favor early on. But now Geisler's on base, and up to bat is Jastrom, the thorn in Swanson's side in this game.
And I believe her last at bat was a walk. The 2 before that, she obviously had the 2 home runs, which are the difference in this one right now.
So very successful at the plate as she takes a swing there that's fouled off. Swanson on the windup. The strike, and then the stolen second by Geisler. Linster makes a nice play to keep that in a manageable position. It looked like that ball might roll past her, and maybe Geisler could get up and take third, but she stays at second.
A good backup there that saved them a base and very possibly a run when this inning is all said and done.
Meanwhile, an 0-2 count here for Jastrom. That makes it 1-2, but 2 strikes Jastrom's facing. That's great if you're Ingrid Swanson. If you could get the out, maybe even a strikeout, that'd be phenomenal.
You want the strikeout here. Don't let the ball get in play because that's when things will happen.
And that one fouled off after another big swing. Swanson's pitch hit high into the air. A manageable play. It's caught out by Schanzenbach. So fantastic there for Ingrid Swanson and the whole Shanley defense. Huge confidence boost as they're able to send Jastrom back to the bench.
Yeah, now you get the 2 outs. It's just get the out. You're done with the inning. Let's go play offense again.
Can't get too far ahead of yourselves, though. You still got to deal with Geisler on second and a Mustangs lineup that has really been fantastic all the way up and down. Schmidt is the batter for Cheyenne, as there's another strike for Swanson to make it an 0-2 count.
She's really just gotten stronger as the game has gone on. A little bit of that has been defensive help as well, but she's just tightened it up, been throwing fewer balls and fewer walks as the game has progressed.
Absolutely. And Swanson there goes high for ball number 1. Another ball there makes it 2-2. Again, here's the issue of Swanson finishing. She's had great starts, and now we've seen her really start to finish a bit more. If she can get the strikeout here, that would be huge. Started it up 0-2. But just like that, it's 3-2 now, full count. Tight situation here. 2 outs, full count. And that one goes low for the walk. Geisler slid, and they'll call her safe.
I'll put runners on the corners with 2 outs for the Mustangs now.
So that one really not working out the way the Deacons wanted it. Swanson had that count 0-2, everything looking like it was going Shanley's way. And then just like that, the Mustangs find a way to put him in a tough situation yet again. Swanson with another low pitch there. At the plate, it's Caitlin Galdi. High ball for Swanson makes it 2-0. Just outside, 3 balls, no strikes. And Cade, we just gotten done talking about how she'd really cut down on the walks here, really gotten that control, under control, I guess, for lack of a better term. But now looking to be in a much tougher situation as she just walked another batter, and now Cheyenne's going to score off the error from the catcher. So Shanley goes from, getting past that worst part of the order with Jastrom, putting themselves in a good situation to all of a sudden surrendering a run here and having runners still on first and second.
So that makes it score 6-2 in the top of the 6th here.
And look at this. That ball clobbered deep in the center, but Linster pulls it down. And how often have we seen Elena Linster make that play? She can just fly out there, and she got back to the fence to pull that one down. Elena Linster really has done a phenomenal job for the Deacons on defense and also on offense, being one of their 2 runs here, just being a catalyst for offense and a great backstop on defense.
One thing to watch here in the later stages of the game, the wind has started to die down a good deal. And if you're Sheyenne, you're happy about that because that'll keep the ball in play and that'll keep the scoring down in the last 2 innings.
Definitely something to watch. Good catch there. So now Shanley on offense in the bottom of the 6th. You're down 4 thanks to a series of errors there in the later part of the top of the 6th. Just kind of a breakdown overall for Shanley there. And we've seen that a couple times. They look like they're in a great situation. They look like they've got everything taken care of, and then all of a sudden it's those little errors. Swanson with a lot of those balls there. Everything just kind of comes together to give Sheyenne a good situation, and that's what's happened here.
That's just kind of been the story of the game. I mean, Sheyenne just kind of sits back and wait for Shanley to make mistakes.
As Airholtz pops this one way up into the air, that's caught out in center field. And again, Taylor Airholtz all the time just getting underneath those balls, sends them flying, but she's just getting a little too underneath and not giving them quite enough power. A lot of height, but not quite enough to make it over. Linster up to bat, fresh off a great play on defense to end the inning. Trying to bunt there, but it won't go. Oh, 1 count, 1 out. Sheyenne obviously watching for the bunt there. That time, Linster lets it go by, though, to even it up. Jastrom goes high again. Now it's a 2-1 count. Linster gets underneath this one, but it's grabbed for the out by the right fielder, Morse. And Mary Beth Morse has made some great plays on D, and there's another. Nothing too complicated, just some good, simple plays.
Gabby Nelson.
Gabby Nelson now up to bat. She's been aggressive in this game. She's really made a lot of contact, had a lot of fouls, but has not been able to get on base. Just been a little snake bit at the plate.
You just want her to get a hold of one and just give the Deacons some momentum here with 2 outs right now. Get something going for them.
Again, she has that capability, and like so many of the Deacon batters, just hasn't been able to put it all together. Two 2-1 count now. Deacons facing 2 outs. Nelson hits that one straight into the third baseman, and that'll do it for the 6th inning. Shanley unable to get anything on offense there and surrendering the 1 run in the top of the sixth. So now 6-2 entering the final inning of the game. Kate, your expectations here?
You know what? If you're the Mustangs, you just got to say for this inning, no mistakes. Make them beat us in this last inning, especially when they go back out to play defense in the next half inning. Offensively, they're just trying to get something to tack onto this lead, make it a little bit harder for that Shanley offense to tie it up.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Cheyenne, you talk about not making mistakes. They really haven't made any all game, it feels like, obviously. Had a couple of errors here and there, but they've played a really solid all-around game. And as long as they don't have a big, meltdown here on defense, they can really put themselves in good position to walk away with the win here. You know, when you play as responsibly as they have, protecting the lead becomes a lot easier.
But this game, compared to the last time these two teams met, it has been much more competitive, and Shanley has played a lot better, to be 100% honest.
Absolutely. They've played a lot better than they did in that 11-1 loss. Obviously, just take a look at the score. I think that's really good for the Deacons going forward. No matter what the result is here, you just feel better about your ability to play with them, because it's a close score, but it's definitely been a close game here, and you're just happy to see improvement as the season has gone on if you're Shanley.
Yeah, especially with this young team. And as a player, you never really want to hear about the future, but the Deacons do have a very bright future with this group of young players that they have.
And on the flip side with Cheyenne, if you can walk away with the win here and get 2 wins over Shanley on the season, well, I mean, that's better than a good loss, obviously. Just happy to get the W. But still 1 inning left to play here and only a 4-run game. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, but if you're Cheyenne, the future is now. You've got a very talented team. You could go deep this year.
No question. That one goes by for a ball. Close, but Swanson continuing to put those pitches just outside. Two count, I was going to say, but we did not have that count right. That is actually a strikeout. So the Deacons pick up the out there, and that's exactly how you want to start things here in the final inning.
Anything to get a little momentum going into this last half inning and going 3 up, 3 down would be the best thing that the Deacons can do for themselves to feel good.
Johnson at the plate for Cheyenne, and there's a strike for Swanson. Deacon infielders moving in here, but there's a ball for Swanson. Again, she is right on the edge of that strike zone, but they've been good calls because those have been balls. They've just been close. So Ingrid Swanson had a lot of balls, yes, but very, very close, and right there you see the strike.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes it's just the umpire you get. Some will give you that higher strike zone, but some of them just don't give that to you. But it's played that way for both teams, so it's just kind of tough on a pitcher.
Absolutely. And there's another ball there for Ingrid Swanson. So going back and forth here. Again, the Deacons do have 1 out. And Swanson sends that one into the ground for the full count. It'd be huge if Swanson could get the strike here. It'd be just as big if Shanley could just get an out. And that one, though, is just outside for the ball. So a walk for the Deacons, not what you want. Glad to have the out, but any runner on base is too many.
Yeah, this Mustang team has made the Deacons pay with almost every mistake you have got to get out of this inning.
I think the most impressive thing maybe has been their play at the plate. They're not swinging at anything. Remarkable vision to be able to tell what's going to be just inside and what's going to be just out. A lot of these walks, obviously as a pitcher, the walk is always, your fault. But honestly, the way she's pitching, I don't think many other teams would be letting those balls go by like the Mustangs have been. She's been very close to that strike zone, and every time Cheyenne just not wavering, not taking any swings.
Yeah, I mean, those walks are base runners, and base runners transfer into runs, and that's what they're doing with them. Just no problem at all. And they've gotten about 8 walks in this game, which that's a high number. The Deacons, on the other hand, maybe have 1 or 2 in the game.
Just really smart softball being played by the visitors here. Swanson's pitch swung into the ground, and that will roll foul. Makes it a 2-2 count now, 1 out. And a runner on first. Swanson's pitch hit deep into left field. Sorensen tracks it down, but it goes through the glove. Linster will grab it. Linster going to throw it in over the head of Schanzenbach. And it looks like Cheyenne will only advance 1 base there, but it sure could have been a couple more. I think Cheyenne thought Sorensen had that ball, as I think she probably did, but you know, you're looking right up into the sun, and that wind is really picked up if you look at the flag. Play that might look simple gets a lot harder when you go down on that field and try to track that ball. And now look at this, another deep ball into center. Linster, though, able to grab that one. She'll throw it in, but not before Cheyenne can advance a runner to third. And so some fantastic offense going here now for West Fargo. Shanley, meanwhile, has 2 outs, but they're really surrendering a lot of contact right now.
Contact that brings action, and action brings runs right now, and that's what Cheyenne has been able to do very well all game.
And now a tough part of this batting order. It's Morgan Gleisler up to face Swanson. Swanson with the low pitch there. Gleisler lets it go by rather. Swanson goes high, and that one's over the head of the catcher. The Mustangs will score and advance a runner to second. And that was Maya Lambert who made it home there.
Just kind of been the story of the game. The Mustangs capitalizing on small mistakes by the Deacons.
No doubt. Again, Gleisler still at the plate. She takes a big swing, though, uncharacteristic of her. She's been walked now 3 times in this game. Has done a tremendous job getting on base and then scoring once she gets on base.
She has 2 of the 6 runs for the Mustangs.
And she hammers that one into center field, makes it past Linster. The Mustangs will score, and we'll see how far Gleisler can get. She ends up heading back to second after losing confidence rounding and headed towards third. I think she could have made third had she kept going, but you know, that's the way Cheyenne plays, and I'm not about to question it as they're up 8-2 now.
It's been very effective all game, and an old rule in baseball, you never make the third out at third base. And one big reason why you're especially happy that Cheyenne did not, if you are a Cheyenne fan, Jamstrom is up next.
Exactly. Happy to have her out there. 2 home runs already. The wind has really picked up. She hammers that one, but it is caught by Schanzenbach, the shortstop. So Mustangs able to pick up 2 runs. Deacons close out the inning, but any runs surrendered here is not good if you're Shanley. You now trail by 6 with 1 at bat, or with 1 inning rather, to make it up. Now that said, we did see Shanley come back from a large deficit, just about come back against Grand Forks Red River, trailing 9-1 or 9-2. They were able to make it a final box score of 9-6, so able to make up 4 or 5 runs in that final inning on Tuesday. You could really see them doing the same thing here. They've gotten a lot better offensively as the game has gone on. They've really been much more effective against Jastrom. They seem to be dealing better with those blistering fastballs. It would be tough, but it could happen. And like I said, the wind really, I think, blowing harder than it has all day long is great news for Shanley.
Yeah, they need that now. That's just a big thing for them right now. But the other thing, Jastrom's fastballs have started to lose a little bit of that heat. And now maybe the Deacons can finally put those bats together now. Because they've been hitting the ball. If they can put them together, they've got a shot.
Well, we'll see what they do. It's
Leading off for
Schanzenbach
the
at
Deacons.
bat
Number
for the
10,
Deacons.
Schanzenbach.
Callie Schanzenbach, the shortstop. Jastrom's pitch is high for ball number 1. Schanzenbach has been patient all afternoon long. And with this game in the later stages, we'll see if fatigue causes Jastrom to lose a bit of her control as that one goes into the ground and bounces over the head of the catcher. That time, right down the center for the strike. So 2 balls. And then a strike here for Jastrom, able to recover. This one, though, into the ground, and again mishandled by the catcher. That's got to be something you like to see if you're Shanley. You know, you're seeing a couple wild pitches, and Cheyenne's not doing a great job handling them. I really haven't seen much of that from them in this game. But if you want it to happen at any time, now would be perfect for the Deacons.
And with those wild pitches, if you get somebody on base, that'll advance runners.
And so that's the 4th ball there. And Schanzenbach will
Now
get the walk to
batting number
first.
9, Kelly McSperrin.
So, no outs, and McSperrin up to bat for the Deacons. Behind her is Krista Schanzenbach, who's had some great success getting on base and then doing some damage well on base in this game. Another ball not quite gotten under control here by the Mustangs. That one right down the center for the strike, though, against McSperrin. 1-1 count, no outs. Bottom of the 7th. If the Deacons can't tie it or take the lead, obviously, this game's done. And now Schanzenbach's taken off to second. Looks like she made it, and that's what they'll say. So Schanzenbach safe at second base, narrowly, but it works out.
Now the force is off at second. It makes it a lot harder play, especially if the ball is hit to the left side of the infield here.
McSperrin has been hitting pretty well in this game. That's her strong suit. You'll sometimes see her in as a DH. And now Schanzenbach will make it to first. However, Sheyenne does get the, Schanzenbach will make it to third. Sheyenne gets the out at first.
Now batting number 5, Krista Schanzenbach.
Krista Schanzenbach up to bat for the Deacons. On deck, Maria Sorensen at the top of the order. Strike number 1 there for Jastrom. And that one hit into the ground to the shortstop. Trying to make the play at first. They will.
They do. The Deacons do get the run in, though.
That is true. So Shanley able to get Callie Schanzenbach home and make it a 5-run game, 8-3. But now you got to try to get 5 runs with 2 outs and nobody on base.
You got the top of the order coming up with Maria Sorensen here, though, so that's the good thing about this.
Very true. Sorensen fouls that one off over the cage.
The Mustangs, though, they are all thinking that she's bunting. They have the corners way up on her.
It is a fair bet considering how much Sorensen's shown bunt in this game. High pitch. Catcher able to track it down, but it was close. 1-1 count again, 2 outs. Sorensen hits that one into left field.
It's dropped. She's going to get a hit.
The shortstop unable to handle that ball. Looked like she was going to have the out, but Geisler just could not quite get it under control. And, you know, you see her holding the mitt above her eyes. The sun looking like a factor right now.
Well, the sun is right in, especially that left side's eyes right now.
Remke, the catcher, up to bat. Sorensen on first. Looked like she was headed to second. She'll come back, though. 1-0 count. Make that 2-0 now.
I'd really like to see Maria Sorensen take off and try and steal second base, get that force at second out of the way.
We'll see what she does. Again, looking like she might take off, but heads back. It's a 2-1 count now. On the same note, though, you don't really want to get that final out trying to steal. You might want to see what your bats can do, but I can see what you're saying here, Kate. It's a tight situation, and you need to advance any way you can.
I think the Mustangs' trained of mine here is don't even worry about the runner. There's 2 outs. Just focus on the batter.
I think that's very true because you're right. You only need 1 out here. 1 out and you're going home with the win. And Remke will hit that one. It's fielded, and that's the last out they need. Reagan Jastrom sends it to first base to complete the 8-3 victory for the Mustangs. So Cheyenne able to pick up their second win of the season against Shanley for the season sweep. And Cade, your thoughts on the performance here by Cheyenne, looking very strong against a solid Deacons team.
Cheyenne, they came out, they played a really good game all around. They pitched well, they played defense. They didn't make mistakes. That's the biggest thing that they did right, though.
Absolutely. You know, it was that responsibility they played with. Again, not making those mistakes, playing smart softball, able to give them the 8-3 win. The Deacons, meanwhile, started to heat up towards the end of that game, both on offense and defense, but in the end, it just was not quite enough against, like we said, this great Cheyenne team. They improved to 9-6, and you know, those losses, kind of a distorted stat, picked up most of those in a tournament against some very strong Minnesota teams. So in overall state standings, got to look out for Cheyenne. Shanley, meanwhile, still in that middle of the pack. We'll see what they can do going forward. For today, though, and for Kate Busick and our entire crew, I'm Jed Thomas. Your final score from Fargo: Shanley Deacons 3, Cheyenne Mustangs 8. To watch the archived version of this entire game and our other broadcasts, go to ShanleyTV.com. The proceeding has been a presentation of Shanley TV.